And I would ask you to assist me today as I go through this program. Somewhere I read, I am so weak, O God, but you are so mighty. Today in Oklahoma City, we are in an ocean of tears. Our grief cannot be measured in terms of words. Our hearts are heavy, and there are many questions that are unanswered. But today, we pause in memory of a young man. We pause today in the memory of William Littlejohn III, known as Trey. And we are going to give you the opportunity to join us today. Our sponsors, Mr. Robert Gates, a deacon, a young man that knew Trey, respected the family. Miss Gates Barbershop extending their sympathy to his family. Gates Barbershop is located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. And Mr. Gates' heart is heavy today. We pause in today in memory of Trey. Dr. A.L. Dial felt the rhythm of Trey's life. An optometrist is located at 934 Northeast 8th Street in Oklahoma City. The telephone number 235-0536. Marilyn, Hildred, April, Shelley, the entire staff at Allstate Insurance Company today pause in memory of William Littlejohn III. Chancellor Shardina's preschool and nursery, owned by Mrs. Gloria Matthews and Mr. Paul Matthews, pause in memory of William Littlejohn III. Oh, Mrs. Matthews' heart is heavy this morning. Her tears have been flooded this week. But today, Mrs. Gloria Matthews and others join hands with this family. This is the Clara Luper radio show. Somebody called me and said, Miss Luper, what are you going to do? I've changed my entire program this morning because of my heart. My heart aches. Yes, my heart aches. How many lives can a young man touch in a spirit of 17 years? And Chuck Davis wrote on the point of view in the Daily Oklahoman this morning, an article that I want you not only to read, but I want you to save. I don't know, he said, and I quote, I don't know what Trey Littlejohn's killers are doing right now. I don't know what they are thinking, but I hope and pray that they are brought to justice. And I hope they have the chance to ponder the evil deed they have done. Today we are mourning the passing of this young man, the loss of innocence, the stealing of his future. In some way and somehow, we are going to have to survive this tragedy. How do we do it? What do we do? How many mistakes have we made as a people? Yes, Trey was filled with energy, burning with optimism, eager to be part of this great American dream. But today, we are in a spirit of despair, in a spirit of hopelessness, the feeling of we don't know what to do. We don't know what words to say. The burden is heavy. No one can interpret the feelings of a mother, a father, a grandmother, grandfather, and friends. No, we do not have no words. But today, Many of us stand hopeless. We stand as if we don't know what to do. We feel like we've been defeated because someone has killed our child. And these children belong to all of us. One writer said that it's not a mistake sometimes as we consider our friends and they become our enemies. And our enemies become our friends. But we do know that somebody killed one of our most outstanding young men. And we feel it. It's in our hearts. It's on our minds. This past week I was in Winfield, Kansas to attend the funeral of Dolly Hall's mother, Mrs. Helen Jackson. And the people there was touched. Many of you know that this week my husband had surgery and I was out to St. Anthony's Hospital where the staff out there, the doctors and the nurses were touched like you can't even imagine by the death of this young man. Mr. Nathaniel Cobb of Visual Productions feels the heartbeat. He feels the heartbeat of what has happened to one of our children, who wrote an old African saying that it takes a village to raise a child. And we become so wrapped up in our children. These are our children. We don't know what direction to go. But let me tell you a bit about Trey. Let me tell you about him. Because I want you to know, and you can understand. I want you to understand that one family is touched today, but we don't know what tomorrow will bring. If you don't believe trouble is headed your way, those of you in the surrounding areas, those of you who haven't paid any attention to what's happening in our society, I'm going to tell you something. Trouble might not have gotten to your doorstep yet, but I want you to know that trouble is on its way. I want you to know this. William Littlejohn III, the grandson of William and Rosie Lee Littlejohn of Boley, Oklahoma. Proud family. A family whose lives are deeply rooted in the tradition of courage, of devotion, of understanding. William Littlejohn III, the grandson of Marion Davis, lives in Oklahoma City, and the late Alvis Butler Davis of West Town. Yes, this morning's program is in memory of that grandson. But then sometime when we look at people, we want to know, who are these people? Who are the Littlejohns? Well, Trey's parents met at Langston University and fell in love. A love that was cemented in the lives of Trey and their beautiful daughter. Lives that were happy lives. Hard-working parents had worked to see to it that their children would have a better day. Trey was the first child born to William Jr. and Cheryl Davis. Born in July 27th, 1979. And Trey came from a religious family and was baptized at the Shiloh Baptist Church. There he was very active in the choir and active in the Royal Ambassadors and the Sunday school. And then when the family moved, Trey, along with his mother and father, joined the Tabitha Baptist Church in Oklahoma City. But religion and believing is more than what happens in a classroom. It's more than what happens in a church. It's what happens in the community. William Littlejohn loved Millwood School. He attended Millwood Preschool, went to North Highland Elementary School, and continued his education at Millwood Midland High School. Active young man. Little League baseball with the T-Bird teams. At Millwood High School, he played football, ran track, played the drums in the marching band, and was a member of the ROTC. And now he's a senior, participating in the choir, participating in school activities, receiving awards in citizenship, and for participation in the science fairs. During high school, he placed first. He received awards of all kinds, and especially in the district science fair. 1995, he received the United States Academy National Merit Award. What an honor. What a life. But Trey was also involved in that mental program, that partnership program between the Oklahoma City Zoo and Millwood High School. A young man who enjoyed making other people happy. A young man who loved animals, riding three-wheelers, motorcycles, and going back to his roots, the roots of his parents and grandparents in Boley, Oklahoma. He was an industrious young man. His first job was at Chauncey's Shardina's preschool and nursery. Oh, to hear Mrs. Gloria Matthews talk about this young man. And talk about how he paid attention to little details. Yes. This morning I'm talking about a young man. A young man who was employed part-time at Bob Howard's Auto Mall. But this young man had a dream. His dream was to follow in his parents' footsteps, to attend Langston University, and to become a member of his father's fraternity, the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. A dream. A dream of studying and making the kind of grades that he would be welcomed at Langston University. But Trey was also active in his community. He was an escort in Miss Fashionetta. And he was an escort in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageants. An escort. One of those handsome escorts in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageants. He was a member of the NACP Youth Council. Yes, I'm talking about Trey Littlejohn. But Trey, as other young people, somewhere down life's highway, you meet someone. And Trey was blessed to have a loving, beautiful girlfriend, Brandy Red. Although they were young, they fell in love. They shared a lasting friendship and love. Trey is dead. Today's program is in memory of Trey. You may call me at 672-1220. I know you would like to join me today. But then we come down to the big question. Where do we go from here? If this death has not touched your heart, if it has not left you numb and void, then something is drastically wrong. Somewhere in Oklahoma City, then, there are some other mothers. Mothers of somebody that killed Trey. And today we extend our sympathy to those mothers. Oh, what a headache. Oh, what a heartache to know that your child has destroyed somebody's life. But we've got to in Oklahoma City. We have got to bring the killers to justice. Somebody in Oklahoma City knows something about what happened. Somebody knows something. And I think as good citizens, somebody needs to step forward and say, I know what happened. And I call upon Oklahoma City today to let's see what we can do. That crime must be solved. It must be solved because it was Trey. But who knows who will be next. And I call upon you. I call upon you today in the name of my sponsors, in the name of my friends, in the name of those that love Trey. And you cannot imagine what it is to lose a son unless you have lost one. You cannot imagine what it is to lose a grandson unless you have lost one. Oh, you can say, I understand, but what do you understand? Do you understand the years of hard work in bringing up a child? Do you understand what it means to see your child cut down in the prime of his life? Today, Oklahoma City will say goodbye to Trey. His body will be carried by Raphael Bickley, Ricky Hayes, Andre Barrentis, Morris McCaskill, and Wayne Williams. There will be some honorary pallbearers, young men that had known and respected Trey: Lamar Nash, Ernest Littlejohn Jr., Patrick Littlejohn, Corey Harris, Maurice Irvin, Mary O. Long, Charles Morris, Doug Plunkett, David Fowler, Courtney Todd, Tyrone Thompson, Kevin Williamson, Tremaine Williams, and Richard Slaughter, part of that Millwood High School class of 1997. Yes, flowers will be carried today by Verlicia Strain, Marie Crawford, Carmen Lasky, Charlene Hayes, Shalonda Hayes, Andre Barrentes, Tia Crawford, Kim Williams, Dwendolyn Rose, and Lashana Forshade, along with Kendrick Thompson. That service will be held. That service will be held at St. John's Baptist Church today at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m. that service will be held. There will be a prelude of music played by Corey Gibson of the Tabitha Baptist Church. Narissa Shelton, the soloist at Tabitha Baptist Church, will sing. The Old Testament will be read by Reverend J.H. Tucker, the pastor of New Zion Baptist Church. The New Testament by Reverend Ron Carter, who's pastor of the Mount Betha Baptist Church in Langston, Oklahoma. And then from the Mount Rose Missionary Baptist Church, Reverend Harvey Wilson will do the prayer. Mary Smith will sing Wind Beneath My Wings. And Reginald Thomas will be at the organ. There will be remarks by Johnny Roseburg, the principal of Millwood High School. Elnora Douglas will read the resolutions. Then Reverend Ron Carter will sing Walk Around Heaven all day. Words of comfort to be delivered by the pastor, Reverend J.L. Mitchell of Tabitha Baptist Church. I'm trying to say today that I don't care where you are. If you have a heart, you've been touched. You have been touched to such an extent that you're going to do something about it. A scholarship fund will be set up in memory of Trey, and you are to get in contact with the people at Millwood School Words are inadequate. I wish I had the words today to express my feelings. But I want you to know. I want you to know that we are there. We are there with that family. We are there because Trey belonged to all of us. Trey belonged to all of us. 672-1220. If you would like to say something. And in times like this, it's better to talk because you can have a different feeling. And we can appeal. We, the Little John family, other families have paved the way for our young people to have a better day. And to see them cut down, it's hard to bear. But somewhere I heard an old hymn, must Jesus bear the cross along and all the world go free? And then we must come back and say, no, it's a cross for everyone. And certainly, this is a cross for us. This is our cross. This is our young man. And it's a way that we can express ourselves openly. Because these children belong to all of us. Adria?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Miss Luper, I tell you, my heart goes out with you and to the family, the Little John family. I mean, you can't, as you were saying earlier, you just can't help but be affected by what has happened. And also to raise our level of consciousness that you're right. It's not, even though Joe and I have one daughter, you know, we need to extend past Yolanda. We've all got to be concerned about our young people. And again, our hearts go out to the Little John family. Our prayers go out to the family. And also, so do you, Miss Luper, because, you know, I can feel and hear your pain and sorrow because you've given all of your life to children and to, you know, what's right and teaching. So I want you to know that I also feel your pain this morning and your sorrow. And we just want to call in and share that with you this morning.
Well, you don't know how I thank you because what did my grandmother say? If you haven't had trouble today, just wait until
just
tomorrow.
Wait. That's right.
Today I was closer with the Little John family because even though we are hurt, we don't know the feeling until it has come to our door. Thank you, Adria. And thank you for being a part of the Clara Luper radio show.
Yes, ma'am. You all take care.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Yes, we've got to carry on. How do you pick up? How do you carry on? What do you do? What do you do? Somewhere in Oklahoma City, somebody knows something about this crime. Somebody is going to have to come forward because this crime must be solved. Hello?
Good morning, Mrs. Luper. How are you doing today? And hello to the radio audience.
Yes, Mrs. Hunter, we're doing our best.
Well, that is true, right. But you know, I have to say, as I heard a minister say when he was preaching Leon Neal's funeral, Koshi, as they called him, he said, enough is enough. And Mrs. Luper, I have to say enough is enough. Because the hands that fired the gun to kill a young man who was trying so hard to make something out of his life and make something to help the young people that he could see that's coming on behind him. Somebody was trying so hard. And somebody who would have a grudge that I want $1. Or maybe somebody said, I want those pretty tires or those pretty rims. I want that music box out of your car, whatever. Or the shoes off of your feet. Enough is enough. And I know the Lord is looking down on those souls today. You know, you say you can throw a rock and then go hide your hand. But someday, you will have to come out and witness. You'll have to witness. Because one day you will have to stand before that throne. And that will face whoever the person is. And I'm sorry for the family. I know they feel I know they feel hurt because I have a young man, I have out there, young man, teenage man, who's trying to make it. And I hope nobody would take his life just for $1. You know, this is almost as bad as Judas did when he sold out to recognize Jesus just for a few little coins. It wasn't the coins that they were looking forward for. It wasn't the shoes that their parents could not have bought for them, or they could not have purchased for themselves. Or maybe did they need the car, or did they need the tires, or did they need whatever? Did they need them? Was there a need? And I must say, I know the Lord is looking down on them today. And I know these words that's being spoken today are not falling on deaf ears. One day they will have to come forward. Say, I did it. I did it. Lord, forgive. But I want to say hello to the radio audience, and I want to tell them that, and I want to tell all the young people also that tomorrow will be a better day. And by the way, tomorrow is Sunday. And I hope that they will find somebody's church that they will start toward.
Spirit of the Lord on Sunday. You want to ask you just for one day. One day, that's all you ask. And then you don't ask you just for one little hour in that day. You have to stay all about it. And young people, let's worship someplace in someone's church on Sunday. Thank you for very kindly, lady. Yes, today we are all in shock. We are all in mourning. We are all feeling betrayed, and we are wondering just what is going on in our lives. We can't understand it. We can't understand it. But somewhere, somehow, maybe we will understand it by and by. You may call me at 672-1228. Yes, today my program has changed completely. A lot of things I planned to say and do today that I cannot do. Because I, like you, I'm guilty. Hello? 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 Yes. Good morning. Good morning. This is Sister Burkhalter. Yes. And I tell you, I have been mixed up over this kind of stuff for years and years. I've been here for more years than I care to remember. I've played in this city for many years. And things have gotten to me. And this has really gotten to me. I can't explain to you, just how. And it's like you say, you cannot understand a murder. But it's like you said, somebody's grandson. And somebody's nephew and nieces, and I have a plenty of them. And I tell you, only thing that comforts me is when I think about when I lost my mother at I thought at early age, and it said, but it's not for how old they were, it's what they did when you were here. And it sounds like that young man has done mighty good here. I think the Lord hears him now. And whoever did their God, we might not know right now. We might not understand why it happened. But I asked a lady that teaches Sunday school, why? A lot of people said you're not supposed to question the Lord, but he doesn't matter as long as you know he's God. And they said, well, we'll understand it better by a lot of people think when we get to heaven that it could be tomorrow. Could be in a few minutes. But I know one thing, God is love. My heart feels. I've been listening to TV. We weren't allowed to say this. We had to say, watch, just like you could when you could sleep. And every time someone come on there with that, I drop to my knees. But I know there's a brighter day somewhere. I just want to let you know I feel for those people. One of those boys, young men you call this morning, is a friend of his mother is a member of my gospel choir. And I want to let you know that I feel for them. I feel for you because you love children. I hear you teach children. You tell them, don't go to jail, don't steal nothing. You don't have to go. And then you give them options. You give them something to do. So I want you to feel good, too, because you had a part in that young man's life. I just want to I don't let you go because I'm a big crybaby, but I also know that the song said God is good all the time. We don't understand it, but he is. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so very kindly. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show. This portion of our show is brought to you by your Allstate Insurance agent, Marilyn Hildren, and I should say agents Shirley Luper, April Hildrich, Calvin Luper. If you need insurance, call 843-4811. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Yes.
This is Gloria Matthews and Paul Matthews.
Yes.
And I'm calling to you just devastated this morning, but we have been with your family all the week, and I want you to know that we love them, and we will do anything we can for them. And I'm glad to know that they had a part in my ministry life and my little kids. And remember him? He was such a wonderful young man. He gave me praise God, and I'm so happy about that. He was such a nice young man. And we are all, our sympathy is going out to Mr. Mr. John and her family, and they know that we love them. And I will be doing whatever I can in the future. I will still be her mother, Miss Johnson, Miss Bill John, and Miss Bill John. And I would like to say that my heart is very hurt this morning because I do have 9 grandchildren and 5 greats. And I know that, these are all our children. They belong to all of us, and I feel like that. And I love him, and I love his parents, and I love all his family. And you can always count on me in any ways, whatever I can do for you. Paul and Gloria Matthews and family.
Thank you, Mrs. Matthews. You gave him his first job. You knew Tree. You loved Tree. Today is our day. Mrs. Salter says so often, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Today is the day that our religion is being tested because somebody in Oklahoma City killed one of the most outstanding young men in this country. And somebody has hurt not one person, not two, but hundreds of people. Hello?
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Good morning.
I would like to express my sympathy also to the family. I didn't know the young man personally, but we saw a picture of him on television, and a very attractive young man. And I just want to say to those whoever did the crime, I would put them in a category of being unlearned. And you find kids nowadays that are committing crimes like that is because they have not had the proper upbringing. Their home environment is not what it should be. Therefore, they're not getting the proper teaching that they need. Sometimes we find in some of the homes that the mother is extremely young, who's trying to raise another baby, and then the grandmother sometimes is young. So we have 3 generations right there in that house, if not 4. And they're all four, the grandmother, the mother, and the child. Not a one have any education. They don't have the understanding. They don't have any wisdom, no knowledge of nothing. So when you find things that's happening in our society today, I would classify that as a person without any knowledge, without any wisdom, without any understanding, that are committing these crimes today. So it comes from the home. It comes from the home. And if these young people aren't getting the proper teaching that they need, we will continue to hear crimes being committed like this. And I think it's sad when we cannot buy our children some pleasures in this life without them losing their lives over that object. So it's a bad thing. It looks bad because it is bad. And that's all I have to say, Ms. Luper. And my prayers goes out to the family, and I want them to know that God sees everything. And whoever committed the crime, they're not his, because God knows he knows exactly who they are. So I want the parents of the young man to look up, because God is on their side.
Well, thank you so very
Thank you so much.
Thank you so very kindly. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and today our sponsors join in mourning the loss of one of our young men. Hello?
Miss Luper?
Yes.
This is Anna Clara.
Yes.
My sympathy and condolence go out to the family and go out to you. And I would just like to say to the family, in Psalms 121 says, I will lift up mine eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. Our help comes from God at times like this when we go through troubles and we go through problems. I've never had children, but God put me as a teacher where I could be involved in children's lives. And to think of Trey, the potential that he had that was cut off
It is grievous. It is hurtful. And as you say, we black people must take this up and reach out to our children and encourage them because, Clara, as you know and I know, those people that trade, those are our future. And I thank you so much for putting this program on today. You're to be commended.
Well, thank you. You have worked so hard to encourage our young people to hold on to the things that are decent. And where do we go from here?
We look at where we have come from 1954. We reset our priorities, and our priorities is love and discipline and encouraging our children to go to school and be the best that you can be and let them know that God reigns within them. And whatever they want to do, they can do it through the grace of God. And this is what we need to instill. We need to bring our kids to church. We need to hug our kids and love our kids, regardless of whether you're a single parent. I was brought up by a single parent. A single parent or what? We must reset the priorities of the black man to say, I am going to be free, but the only way I can be free is through God and education.
And thank you so very kindly.
Thank you.
This portion of our program is brought to you by Passion Home Health Care. Located at 3838 Northwest 36th Street, Suite 200 in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 943-5779. Mrs. Deborah Jackson, the entire staff at Passion Home Health Care would like to express their sympathy to the family. If you have someone in your home that needs special care, call 943-5779. They also offer Give Me a Free Hand, 946-8928. Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Good morning.
This is your friend, Dr. Dow.
Yes, Dr. Dow.
I was riding along in my car, and I heard you talking about this young man who was killed. And ever since I saw it on television, I've had an aching heart. Yesterday, I mentioned to many of my patients, I just don't know why I'm so terribly upset. I didn't even know him. But I'm upset when anything hurts any of our brothers and sisters, our boys and girls. But the strongest point that comes in my mind as I think of this, it is God is sending us a message. He's sending a message to our youth to stop doing all these sinful things. He's also sending a message to our adults, the mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, and telling us to give the right leadership to our children. We have lost, taken our hand off the doorknob, and we've let things go that way too long. And he didn't just take that child, but he took him in a way this happened, no doubt, I feel personally. That's a message to Oklahoma City and to humankind. So we need to get on the move and get in the harness and do those things which we should go. We have abandoned our responsibility. My profound, sincere sympathy is sent to the family, and I want to thank you, Miss Luper, for doing all the wonderful things for young people wherever they are. So you are a God-sent person. My sympathy is for the family, and I pray for them. I shall continue in prayer for them. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless and keep you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Dallas, one of our sponsors, who's making this program possible today. Yes, we have lost more than a student, more than a brother. We've lost a human being. Hello?
Yes?
Yes.
How you doing, Miss Luper?
I'm doing the best I can.
This is Brandon. And first of all, I'd like to express my sympathy to the little John family. Hello?
Yes,
I'd like to give my blessed report today.
sure.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Bryant, bringing all you folks out there in Radio Land, the Saturday morning sports page. In the NBA, Clyde Drexler led Houston with 37 points as the Rockets defeated the Timberwolves 104-95. The Supersonics won for the ninth time in 11 games as they defeated the Nuggets 109-99. The Bucks defeated the Jazz in a 119-112 overtime victory. Glenn Robinson had 38 points and Vin Baker added 21 points for the Bucks. Orlando Stars returned, and they lifted the Magic to a 109-88 victory over Philly. Orlando had lost 13
of its 16 previous games. In the Big 12, Kansas almost beat Niagara by their own score. They beat them by a score of 134 to 73. Baylor defeated Texas A&M 69 to 66. OSU lost to Texas Tech 73 to 64. Iowa State lost to Marquette 67 to 64. And Nebraska defeated Creighton 71 to 52. In the top 25, number 2 Wake Forest defeated Georgia Tech 73 to 63. Number 8 Villanova defeated Oral Roberts 64 to 46. Number 6 Cincinnati defeated Alabama Birmingham 74 to 54. And number 11 Minnesota defeated number 15 Indiana 96 to 91 in overtime. And unranked Tulsa beat Southern Utah 80 to 48. In women's college basketball, OU lost to Texas 87 to 69. And OSU defeated Texas Tech 78 to 56. In the CBA, the Cavs defeated Yakima 102 to 84. The high school scoreboard goes a little something like this. In boys b-ball, Midwest City defeated Choctaw 69 to 54. Star Spencer beat Northwest Classic 85 to 59. Northeast defeated Southeast 67 to 60. John Marshall beat U.S. Grant 73 to 56. And Capitol Hill defeated Millwood 68 to 58 in overtime. In girls basketball, Star Spencer defeated Northwest Classic 61 to 45. Carl Albert beat Dale City 56 to 37. John Marshall defeated U.S. Grant 62 to 54. Southeast beat Northeast 46 to 32. And Millwood defeated Capitol Hill 59 to 38. The NFL playoffs, Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys won't have a shot at the Lombardi Trophy this year because Carolina defeated them 26 to 17. San Francisco lost to Green Bay 14 to 35. Jacksonville defeated the number 1 Denver Broncos 30 to 27, and New England beat Pittsburgh. So the NFC Championship game, Carolina will play Green Bay, and in the AFC, Jacksonville will play New England. Another sports news, Doug Williams is the new head football coach for Morehouse, and the Dodgers are up for sale. And once again, this is your Saturday morning sports reporter, Brandon Bonner, bringing all you people out there in radio land. Your Saturday morning sports page on the Clara Luper Radio Show.
For all of us, the day feels dark and gray. Today at 1 o'clock, Oklahoma City will say goodbye to Trey. I'm sure the students at Millwood High School will rededicate themselves to the principles of fighting crime on all angles. We've sent our sympathy to Dr. Gloria Griffin, to Roseboro, and others at Millwood High School. Yes, we do. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show. When I'm free, my last breath inside, Lord, you know that in our world, stay with me, Lord. Yes, Calvin.
Yes, indeed. I wanted to say good morning to you, Mom, and special good morning to all of you out there listening to today's show, the Clara Luper Radio Show right here on KTLV on this Saturday morning. Indeed, it's a very dismal day, not only by the weather, but also in our minds and in our attitudes. And I want all of you out there to know, especially those of the Little John family, to know that I, too, want to join with everyone else in expressing our sympathy and our regret for the tragic events that happened during this past week and for the events that will be coming up. You know, it's a bad thing, but one bad thing leads to other bad things, and there are going to be a lot of people that will be hurt by this and will consistently be hurt. So it's going to be a challenge to our ministers, to our teachers, to our counselors, to our parents, and to us as friends to be strong for the people that have had the opportunity and the blessings to have worked with Trey and to have known Trey. So let's all get together here. Let's show what our community is about. We
talked about it, we expressed it, and we've done it back in April of 1995 there with the bombing. We've done it in many other times in our own little spheres of influence. But this is another opportunity that we in Oklahoma City can get together and show this community, show this world that Oklahoma City is a place that not only is good for healing, but is also good for making things much, much stronger. And so, Mom, today's show has been very difficult, even on the other side of the room, but it's been very difficult to listen to. So I want to compliment you on doing a fantastic job on doing it and getting it all together.
Nathaniel Cobb would like to express his sympathy to the family. Those of you that have pictures that would like to have them changed into videos of whatever you call 424-1591. Sarah McKinney is our representative on the Metro Board, and we want to keep her there. That election will be held on February the 11th, and I would like to tell you more about it. In fact, I'm going to invite Mrs. McKinney to be our guest next week. Yes, I'm going to invite her because I want you to understand exactly some of the things that are going on. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, St. John's Baptist Church, we will have the Martin Luther King special. Mrs. Franklin is invited all of the organizations to be a part of it, and she wants the organizational leaders to be there at 2:30 tomorrow. Today we have tried, we've done our best. We didn't know how we were going to get through this show, but we have done our best. And now we are making an appeal to somebody out there in Radio Land knows what happened. Share your information with the police department. Yes, I have time for one more call, and then I've got to get ready to face the difficult outside. This is Clara Luper. Hello? Hello? Well, I missed that call. But I would like to close this program today just as I started. Today at 1 o'clock at the St. John's Baptist Church, located at 5700 North Kelly. A city and a state will say goodbye to one of our most promising young men. You've been very helpful to the Little John family this week. There are thanks that are going out to Tabitha Baptist Church, to St. John, to Millwood High School, to Putnam City High School, and to many of you out in Radio Land that cared a lot, cared and expressed your cares, your cards, your calls, your flowers, your food, your visits, and just little acts of kindness during this difficult period. But today, as we say goodbye to Trey, even in death, Trey looks good, dignified, handsome, dressed in his cap and gown, which was his dream of finishing high school this year, going on to college. And beside his body at the McCabe Funeral Home, they have his band uniform that he was so proud of. Yes, William Trey Littlejohn III, born July the 27th, 1979. They call it the sun rose in the life of the Littlejohns. But it's set on January the 4th, 1997. And once again, that funeral will be held at the St. Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor F.L. Mitchell will be in charge. Now today we'd like to send a special thank you to Mrs. Sonora Adams and the Baldwin family that contributed $100 to help the NACP Youth Council carry on their work. Sonora Johnson is now in St. Anthony's Hospital. Bert Luper is in Baptist Hospital. C.P. Wilson has just gotten home from St. Anthony's Hospital. Today, Mrs. Wilson, C.P. Wilson, and Rosalie Heron's mother will be celebrating the 100th birthday, and that will be from 1 to 5 p.m. There will be a celebration in the home of Mrs. Clarissa Douglas. Happy birthday to one of the sweetest mother-in-laws in the world, Mrs. Wilson, 100 years. As I look at the clock on the wall, I know it's time for Clara Luper to say goodbye. I really hate to say goodbye to all of you because you've been with me through the thunderstorms of my life, through the earthquakes, through the bombing. You have even been with me today as I tried so hard to tell you that we've got to find who killed Trey. We cannot afford to lose any of our young people. That's all we have. We don't own any banks. And people lie on us, as we have seen in the Dallas cowboy case. And we wonder what will happen to that woman that tried to destroy our people. And then we look out in California. Will that end up just like the Dallas Cowboys? I don't know. But I do know one thing. I know that many times we have to go to our knees because we have nowhere else to go. And as I close today, I would ask you, young people, to put your guns down. Stop fighting. Stop killing. Remember that we are dealing with human beings. And whatever you reap, you got to sow. Clara Luper saying goodbye. Those of you that would like a copy of my book, call me at 424-3949. And thank you so very kindly for being my guest today. Bye-bye.
The program you've just heard was a paid program. The views and opinions